welcome to the Rangers Rabo Ross County preview. My name's Derek McMillan, and today I'm joined by Ross Clark. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Thank you very much.
Good. And I'm joined by Scott Kerr. Kerr, how you doing, mate?
I'm fine, Derek. Hope you're well.
Aye, very good, mate. It's very good, obviously, with the game last night. A wee bit frustrated after it. Ross, what do you think, mate, about the overall result? You've a wee bit of opportunity missed there?
Yeah, I think going across there after comfortably beating them at home, I thought we would have went there and got a result, especially off the back of the Motherwell performance at the weekend. Again, it's just that hoping that one result was going to click us and we were going to become this fast-flowing football again. But maybe last night the Brits just never went for us.
Aye, I can tend to agree. We kind of controlled the game, didn't we, Kerr? But again, for me, we didn't really do much in terms of shots at goal after the first 10-15 minutes. Now, do you think you the same reminder as me and Ross that kind of should have got the 3 points?
I don't think Bromby were great. They performed better last night than did at Ibrox, which probably wouldn't have been difficult. We started off really well last night. We scored the goal and then it was disallowed. I still don't know if the ball went out of the park or not because I haven't really showed you different angles. With a couple of chances, Sakala was through, didn't and then he put it wide. And then it was just one of the times we couldn't get a ball moving. The two forwards get booked and they seem to kind of disappear after that. I don't know if it was they're scared to get booked again or we stopped moving the ball as quick, but we seem to go deeper as well. And we didn't really have any fluency in the passing, any tempo in the passing. Second half, when the subs come on, it was like night and day. We scored a good goal and I thought we should have won and won it, but obviously that wasn't the case. But I suppose it's a point better than not getting any points, and it leaves the group still in their own hands. It's going to be difficult, but at least we know it's up to what we do to decide the group, not anybody else.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's in our own hands, Ross. We'll come on to see how much he fancies going through later on. But in terms of Gerrard, I've been a big critic of Gerrard's substitutions. Did he get them right last night with Hadji and Kent obviously combining for the goal? Are you pleased with the influence the manager had on the game?
Yes, but I think that was always going to come. That we've spoke about it at length on here, that Kent is the spark in that front three. For a wee while he looked as if he had maybe not lost his way or lost his confidence, but things just weren't gone from him. So he's obviously been sitting on the sidelines the last few weeks. We've had a good result at the weekend, and he's came out last night when he's come on with a point to prove, and I thought he brought that spark back. The ball through for Hadji's goal, and Hadji's a great finish. But again, Hadji offers you that on both feet when he plays in that front three. So last night you couldn't complain with the substitutions because the two of them have combined to get you back into the game.
I think you're probably just being a bit nicer. I think they were no-brainer substitutions for me.
Yeah.
But you've got to give him credit where it's due because we're quick to slag him if he gets it wrong. So fair play to the manager and his team last night. Now, Ross, will come back to you on this, being a resident kiddie on goalkeeper. How hard is it to save these shots that Hadji took early right across the goalie? Great technique, wasn't it?
It's a great technique, mate. It's one of the ones that's, see, looking back on it as a goalkeeper, you think to yourself, why did I not go with my foot? See if he sticks a leg out, he probably blocks it. But he's tried to go with his hands and it goes kind of between. But when a goalkeeper comes out to narrow the angle, if he's still trying to set his feet in his position and the boy cracks it early, and as I say, with Hadji being two-footed, you never know whether he's going to hit that or whether he's going to touch it back inside and go with his left foot across you. For me, it's just a great finish, a great piece of finishing on what was another night where we, as you say, we huffed and puffed, but never really had many chances to get goals.
Aye. Kerry, you disappointed, obviously, after how well we done against Motherwell, that we didn't quite click into that sort of performance again?
I just think we lacked something in the middle of the park. I think we didn't lack any creativity. I thought Morelos has been poor again. I don't want to keep going on about it, but his hold up of the ball's non-existent at times. And when you've not got that, you lose something. You're losing your runners from the middle of the park. I thought Scott Arfield done well at times. He was finding space in the middle. There was a lot of space in the middle of that park he was finding and getting forward, but the support was lacking. I just feel we were missing something because Bromby weren't great, and even with the ball going across the box for set pieces and just open play, they were finding it difficult to defend, and we didn't do that often enough because I think they were open at the back. We just didn't create until the two boys come on and showed how easy it was, and I still think going into Sunday, I think that's going to worry us.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Ross, how frustrating was the goal to lose again? Obviously, Balogun getting the own goal, but from a set piece again, it's worrying. It's keeping into a play into the last few weeks.
Culshaw last year got praised to the nines every week because we were scoring for set pieces and we never looked like conceding for set pieces. So last year he took the praise when he was the resident. He is the guru. He's the set piece man. He's the setup. So I don't know why, unless he thinks he's a bit of a tinker man, why this year we've not got somebody on the post. When you look back to last year, the amount Davis cleared for a wee guy. Don't get me wrong. Last night, I don't think you can explain what happened last night. There's a flick on, and Balogun's just bulleted it into his own net. I don't know whether he thought maybe he was in front of the front post and he was heading it by for a corner. I don't know whether he's misread the ball, but fair play to him. What a finish!
So, are we overthinking it then? Is it just individual errors and rather than a more systematic problem? No,
I think for a start, they're not having a guy on the post has killed us again at the weekend. McGregor, I was a bit critical of McGregor. I thought he should have either caught it or put it in the post. I think he got kind of indecisive. But when McGregor gets up and the guy hits it by McGregor, if Davis is on the back post, it can he get by? I think there's definitely been a change in the way we shape up at corners. Obviously, you'll know a bit more about that than me, Derek, being a coach. But we just seem to have changed, and whatever we've changed, he's definitely not an upgrade anyway.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pinpoint it. I hate watching Rangers goals back when we lose them. I hate it. So I've not exactly picked the bones at them, but yeah, it's hard to tell. The one off the post has probably cost us about 3 or 4 goals this season, and it probably saved us about 10 last year. I mean, that's probably not any exaggeration. I remember a couple against Celtic right off the bat. McKay, Gerrard always talks about you win games in both boxes. Are you worried that we're kind of, I don't want to use the word struggling, but you worried that we're not hitting the heights in both boxes yet this season?
Because there's almost so many times we're going to be able to come back from conceding a goal first, because with us now at 10 times, we're not always going to come back for that. It doesn't matter who we're playing. And I think a lot it's to do with individual errors. I know it can be you defend as a team, but individually and collectively at the back, the players have been shocking at times, and I don't know if it's loss of concentration, thinking they're better than what they are. I'm not sure. For set pieces, I don't know they go in zonal, because they don't seem to be going man to man. Because I agree with Ross. I think you should always have. When I coached years ago, I always had 2 guys in the post. So I don't know if that's old school now, or people don't go that way. Obviously, you're still coaching, so you know more. I don't know, because if you have man in the post, like you said earlier, it can help you get the ball off the line. It can save you a goal at times. I don't know what way we're going. I think it has to be improved. You're going to have to look at it and go back to it. But I think some of the goals have been individual errors. Players, Golson, Tav, Balogun. I think Balogun gets a lot of praise, but I think he gets caught a lot of time positional wise and being the wrong side of the striker. But in the goal last night, I just think it was instinctive. I didn't think he didn't really knew what was happening. The ball just came to him and he stuck his head on it, like any defender usually does. And it's just unfortunate it went the wrong way into the net.
Yeah, Ross, do you think the failure, not failure, I'm being dead dramatic today, I don't know what's up with me. Do you think the fact that we've not had a settled back 4 or even 5 for 2 or 3 games in a row this season is not helping this?
I think the more Hollander doesn't play, the more you realise how much he offers that defence, whether it be a commanding centre half. Again, this year, I know that there's been a lot said on Twitter about Tav's goals and assists, but see, if you want him to have goals and assists, play him in the front 3. I'm looking for my right back to be defending, because see, when your main striker's no scoring goals, for me, I'm looking for my right back. I'm looking to be no conceding goals, so that if we score 1, we win the game.
I try and nick it, I get you. Yep.
So see, for me, saying, your right back's great because he scored and assisted a goal, but at the other end of the park, he cost him and Golson between the 2 of them. Somebody said yesterday on Twitter, and it really struck a chord to me. Balogun and Golson are both out of contract at the end of this year. Balogun looks as if he's playing for a new contract, and Golson looks as if he's just coasting, waiting on an offer. For me, doesn't look the same. Doesn't look as if he's got the same determination. And concentration even than they had last year. Last year they hardly put a foot wrong the full season. Everybody, Borna Barisic, hasn't he? I thought it was quite strange he got back in last night, based on the fact that he's not really offered much, and Bassey obviously played well at the weekend. The 2 games, I think he played 2 games in a row before. The 2 games he's played, he's looked well. So for me, there's also maybe an issue where Bassey's came in, took his chance, played well. Borna's not playing, but when it comes to a big game, Bassey's that back out and Borna's back in again. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think, Kerr, that Bassey's just not earned that trust in big games yet?
Probably, but I'm not a big fan of Bassett either. I'm probably the only one. He gives 100% and he puts a shift in and he's decent. But if I had to pick, I would pick Borna every time. But I know Borna's an off the boil, and you having to get to reasons why, because on form Borna's the better player, technical wise, and he can swing a ball and he can do so many different things to Bassey. I think you seen last night when Bassey got forward and he tried to get a ball in. And you seen the thing on Gerrard's face, he wasn't too happy. But Bassey might not be a left back. I mean, I think he came through the ranks at Leicester as a centre back, so he's playing probably. I'm not saying he's playing out of position, but he's playing a role he's not too familiar with. So I don't know. I just think we need to get back to basics there, especially at the back. And I think the midfield need to help as well. I don't think the midfield's been as great defensively either, because you can't always blame the back four. You start defending for the front, and so I think we have to look at the shape of the team. To be fair, I think Scott Arfield coming back in will help that in future weeks, because Scotty does a lot of work forward and defensively. But I think we have to look at ourselves.
So back to basics is key for me there. I think we've got an international break coming up. I think we should be just, working in set pieces, working in, shape and stuff. I think we've lost it a wee bit in the last few weeks now. Maybe that's because we are Thursday, Sunday, and we're not really getting a lot of time in the training pitch. Now, I get that a lot of people will be away on international duty, but Tav won't, Goldson won't. The goalkeepers, well, I think McLaughlin's here in the squad. No, he's not, is he? Is he?
He's in the Scotland squad, aye.
You've still got the majority of your fullbacks there, your defence, to work on stuff. Now, Ross is obviously, we'll move on to the Ross County in a second, but just to cover off the Europa League last night, do you fancy us to go through now?
Made it hard for ourselves. Is it we need to, if we beat Sparta by 2 and get a result at Lyon? Is that what we need to go through?
If we beat Sparta by 2 and Brøndby fail to beat Lyon, we're through. Right.
So we're capable of beating Sparta by 2 if we play the way we played against Motherwell at the weekend. But we're also capable of churning out a performance last night and losing to Sparta. That's the issue we've got there now.
Yeah.
That's the issue. A team who's got a decent front line will get chances against us, the way we're playing at the moment.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I just hope that in 3 weeks' time, after the rest, after international break, hopefully, fingers crossed, I've been saying this for a while, we might see a different Rangers. Kerr, how are you feeling about it? Do you think we'll progress?
If we can cut out mistakes at the back, I think we're good enough and we will. But like both of you have said, if we continue letting goals in, I think it doesn't look good, because Sparta's not as bad a team as Brøndby, so I think they will get the chances. Yeah,
well, fingers crossed that we kind of get the time in the training field the next couple of weeks and give them a doing, because I'd quite like to put one over this mob, to be honest, and get through the next round. Now we'll get on to the next league game, which is Ross County Ibrox on Sunday, 3:00 kick-off. We're just before we go into international break, for which seems about the 300th time this season. Ross, must win, isn't it?
It's every game in the league's must win, don't you? Every game in the league at Rangers is must win anyway, Derek, as you know yourself. But right now, after clicking into gear against Motherwell and bringing the goals for column up a wee bit, you would hope that going out against what is a poor Ross County team, let's not beat around the bush. I say it all the time on here, Derek. If you wouldn't take one Ross County player and put them in the Rangers 11. So if you've got 11 players and a better manager and a better team, then you should be going and beating these teams. And that, for me, I've said it all along, the only team that's going to stop us from winning 56 this year is Rangers, and that if we underperform. So for me, I'm hoping it's the opposite. We go out at the weekend and take another 4 or 5 goals off Ross County at home in front of what will obviously be a packed Ibrox.
The care is I don't want to undermine Ross County. Ross just already has, but I'll not do it. Ross County a perfect game at home after a Europa League away game.
On paper, it looks like it, but I've seen them a few times, and they're not as bad as people think they are. Defensively, they're not great, probably a bit like ourselves, but they can score goals, and that's the issue. They've got boys that can put the ball away, and I know they've took a lot of beatings this year, but they've also scored a few goals for teams sitting at the bottom of the league. So it should be a comfortable 3 points, but if they come at Ibrox and attack us, they won't be scared because they've seen how we've defended this season. So if they come and take a lead, you never know what can happen in these games. But it should be a 3 points for Rangers because we know we should be beating teams like this, but I wouldn't undermine Ross County.
So the bottom of the league, Ross, they won the first game last week and they absolute scudded Dundee 5-0. Dundee are pretty poor as well though. Can you see that sparking them into life on Sunday?
No, if we play well. If we play well, they'll not even get a kick of the ball, Derek, for me.
Yeah.
Again, putting 5 past Dundee is a freak result. But you look at Dundee with the likes of Charlie Adams and the boy McGowan and that, it's like a nursing home.
Retirement villa. Right, yep.
Retirement villa for ugly bald guys. So, no, for me, it doesn't really matter if Ross County turn up and play their best and Rangers play to any sort of standard, Rangers will beat Ross County. But if we turn up with a European hangover or play the way we've been playing or defend the way we've been defending, then it's a tricky tie. These teams are coming, they're going to come to Ibrox and sit in 2 banks, as you know, and be hard to break down. But we've got to get our creative players on the park that can offer us the movement and creativity that's going to allow us to get through and get chances. Yeah,
totally agree. Now, Kerr, I'll come to you first. We'll go through who we think is going to play. We'll come back to Ross County and how they play shortly. But Rangers team on Sunday, who's your goalkeeper and why?
I was just sticking with McGregor. I think you need to keep sticking with a keeper. I'm no one for chopping and changing. I would stick with Allen. He's the best keeper we've got. I don't know if he's told the manager he can improve every week or because he's age, the manager's not playing him every week. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't like the chopping and changing goalkeepers. I know clubs do that, but I'm not a fan of it.
What about you, Ross?
If we were playing Celtic tomorrow, McGregor would play. So for me, McGregor plays.
Okay, I think he's got 2 weeks off coming up anyway. Do you know what I mean? I think I would be of the same mind. Now, the back 4, Ross, what are you thinking in there? Do you think you'll keep the same as Thursday, or do you think Bassey or Patterson might come in?
I think he'll play the same back 4. I think he'll play the same back 4 based on trying to get a bit of continuity. But if I was picking the team, I would definitely play Bassey. And based on the fact that we're leaking goals, I'd maybe give Patterson his shot. Maybe. I think bringing in the 2 young fullbacks in the same. You're playing Ross County at Ibrox. You could play the 2 of them, and the 2 of them would probably strove it.
Well, I was speaking to a guy that I used to coach that's just gone out on loan to a lower division team, and what I said to him was, if you can't do it here, you're not going to be able to do it in the top league at juniors. You know what I mean? And I see a bit of this with Patterson and Bassey. If they can't perform and get us 3 points at home to Ross County, then are they going to be for us? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think there's a bit of that. With that, I would probably play both for me on Sunday. I think we should be okay with that. Kerr, what do you think, mate? What do you think the back 4 will be on Sunday at 3 o'clock?
I think there will be a change, but I don't know what change will make. I think it'll probably be Bassey in for Barisic just because Borner's form's not been great. I agree with you with Patterson as well, but Tav's numbers have been that good offensively. It's going to be very hard for the manager to leave him out because at times when we have been struggling for goals or assists, he's kind of popped up. So unless he plays the 2 together, which I would give that a try, but I don't think he would do it either. I think he's desperate to win on Sunday just because of the way we've been playing. So I think he might just leave. Bassey will be in for Barisic, but the other 3 will be the same.
My worry about that is, see, come the end of the season, we're going to lose Patterson for a paltry fee because he's going to be unhappy. He's not getting played. You've got one of the what looks like the brightest young Scottish player to come through since Kieran Tierney. And I feel as if there's every chance if he doesn't start playing games soon, he's going to have to ask the question for his own career. He's getting in about international squads, didn't enter national squad again now, and he's not playing at Rangers. So for him to continue his international career and play, the boy's ready. The boy could come in and play for Rangers. He's done it. He's played against Celtic. He's played in Europe, and he's offered goals and assists. I know, by the way, it's no people are talking about Bournemouth's numbers and Bassey no scoring enough goals and this and that. But see, for me, Borna Barisic, when he first came here, was horrendous, but he grew into the position. Tav's form at times can be horrendous, but we let him play through his bad form, and then he pops up with a goal and an assist, and all of a sudden he's the best right back in the league again. Patterson and Bassey are not getting that 5-10 games to get the, you know yourself, Derek, you're working on crossing drills at training. The crosser's always got an advantage, and he's maybe, see, an in-game simulation, it's totally different to what you do on the training park. And I feel as if the two boys are good enough that if you gave them a run of games and said to them, look, I'm going to play you for the next 4, Patterson would come up with as many numbers as Tav. Maybe no goals, but certainly assists. Because let's be honest, Tav threw 100 balls into the box at the weekend, and he had 1 assist at the end of it. Takes all our corners, all our free kicks. Yeah. Of course he gets assists.
I think I agree with you in the fact that Patterson's going to get itchy feet soon. 100%. The situation needs to be managed for me, because the only way we're going to either make him the Rangers right back going forward, or get some decent money for him, is by him playing games and being standouts in Europa League games, Celtic games, blah, blah, blah. Totally understand that. I just think this season we've kind of got a period of grace with him. Like, I think that when we maybe get him 20 to 25 appearances, whatever way, shape or form they may come, and that might be okay. But I think you're right. I think the summer, Nathan will be chapping on the door and saying, right, Gaffer, I'm ready. You know, and it's up to Gerrard to manage that. Tav, for me, is going to have to be replaced by forward players more than defenders, if that makes sense. Because I think Patterson will come into the team, he'll score it, he'll be fine, he'll defend really well. For me, he's a better defender than Tav at the moment, right now, as we speak. So I think we'll be fine. My problem with Tav is generating the numbers and forward positions is my worry. And again, I don't think Tav gets replaced by a right back. I think we've already done that. And we'll need to buy a 10 and a striker for him, in my opinion. So I don't really see the two of them. I see Tav maybe moving on, maybe next season if after that. But I just don't know if Patterson's going to be patient. I mean, he's only 19, right? Okay, of course, we're talking about a 19-year-old boy here, but he's good enough for me, and he's good enough to start. So I think we need to keep an eye on that situation. We'll move into the middle 3 now.
Can I just say something on Patterson, Derek? I think he's going to have to bide these things. I don't think the manager is going to drop his captain for him this season to play him constantly. But also, it's like when Phil Foden was at City. Everybody kept saying, get him in the team. Guardiola knew what he was doing. Foden was in and out, and then you look at him now. Nathan will be the same. Nathan's time will come with Rangers, because if he moves away to somebody in England, he may not be a first team starter anyway. He may get more money, which is probably a guarantee, but he might not be first team starter if he went to Everton or something like that. So I think he knows himself his time will come, and I do agree with you. I think it will be next season, but I think this season he's going to just be a bit better player.
I think also if we look at Kieran Tierney, if that's who you're comparing to, Ross, the boy's got chocolate hips. Was he played too much maybe? And one maybe looking at him and saying, well, let's manage a bit better. I think there's a bit of that.
No. He might have been played too much, but you're talking about Nathan Patterson getting 20, 25 appearances. Many appearances as Nathan Patterson had this season.
Well, I'll rely on one of you to Google that in the meantime, right? Well, I'm but I reckon it's about 8 or 9. If someone can check that out before I'll come back, he's a shout.
I actually don't think Nathan coming into this season expecting to be a first team player. I think he's happy being in the squad and being a bit better player, but I think next season.
How's he not in the B team then?
Because he probably wants him to be around the first team, and so he's available to play. mean, I agree, but if you're talking about Stephen Kelly, then that's totally different. He should be in the B team, which he has been the last couple of weeks. But Nathan's good enough to play, and he's good enough to be there if Tav's injured or he wants to give Tav a rest. But I think he knew himself he wasn't going to come straight in and play 40 games this season. But next season, like you said, he'll be chatting a bit at the door because he's a year older, a year more experienced, and he's thinking, yeah, I'm established for Scotland. I want to be now established for Rangers. And if that doesn't happen for him, then his next port of call might be, listen, I might need to move for here. But I think he's willing to give it a go this season to see what happens because he's probably ahead of what he thought he would be anyway.
2 wee seconds. Because so far this season, he's had 2 league appearances.
As in starts, Ross, aye.
Appearances, it says.
Right.
He's had 1 appearance. He's had 5 appearances this season.
Right.
2 in the League Cup, 2 in the league, and 1 in Europe. And most of them will probably be off the bench.
Yeah, so I think that it probably needs to be upped between now and Christmas, as I say. And I think what I think we should maybe do. We'll, this is the last we'll say, and we'll park it right because we could be here to Tuesday talking about this, right? But what I would probably say is that there's probably more times where he has to get minutes on the pitch. So see if Tav does start on Sunday, for example, there's no reason why we can't be doing 60-30 with Nathan Patterson. I don't think our dynamics change that much. I don't think we look less solid with Nathan Patterson in the team, which is probably the main concern, as you say, from fullback. So I think we should probably give him more minutes, even if it is off the bench. Now, playing 30 minutes in a SPFL Premiership game is much better than playing 30 games in the B team in the Lowland League, in my opinion. So it's just a hard one to manage now. I just hope that Nathan Patterson, I'm sure Gerrard's got him well under the wing. You know what I mean? I'm sure Gerrard's got him well on side, but I think there'll be coming a point where he'll go get itchy feet and, we'll have a decision to make. But again, we're in a great position. The only benefit of this is Rangers, by the way. So Patterson will be pushing.
How many appearances do you think he's made for us all together, Derek?
Must be about 20.
21.
Aye, that was a great guess, that. Hey, great guess.
Right off the top of your head, man.
What I'd done was added 5 and then just kind of summed up that Tav missed about 10 games last year, just went with it.
14.
I think he should be pushing to be at the 50 mark by the end of the season. Now, I get that he's behind track. I understand that. But that's where he probably would hope to be at for this stage of his career. Now, next season, I think we've got, as I say, a decision to make, but I think we're all right for this year. Now, let's go back to the team for Sunday. Martin might want to have a Tav v Patterson debate on this now, you never know. But anyway, middle 3, Kerr. Who plays and why?
Middle 3, I would play Davis, Arfield and Aribo.
Okay.
Or Hadji. One of them, because the 2 of them can play in the middle or forward. We need more creativity coming from the middle of the park. I don't think we need 2 sitting players. So it probably could be Davis or Kamara. I don't think we need 2 sitting players against Ross County because you'll have to hit them and we have to be in the front foot against them because they have conceded a lot of goals. And if we can score first, which hopefully we do, then we go on and score more. But I think you need runners for the middle of the park, and that's what Scott Arfield gives you. I think that's what we've been lacking. Somebody making the late runs into the box or just taking defenders away. That's what Scotty does. He creates space for us in run the part, and defensively he does it as well. He gets back into shape really well. Sometimes there's too much a gap between our midfield and our forward players at times.
Yeah, totally agree. What about you, Ross? Who's your middle of the park on Sunday?
Lundstrom sitting, Kamara and Arfield ahead of him.
Right. Why is Lundstrom coming in? Just because he's been decent at home, or any other reasons?
Lundstrom's coming in because in that position he was man of the match 4 games in a row. Stephen Davis has just played a European tie, and again Lundstrom had a bad game against, who was it he had a bad game against?
Aberdeen.
No, but he had been shunted out the position that he'd been excelling in to allow Steve Davis to come back into the team. Again, there for me, Davis will recycle the ball all day long for you, but Lundstrom looks to me as if he's no fear to break the lines and step forward. We've seen him scoring a goal for distance, and for me against Ross County at home, I'm looking for my defensive midfielder to be able to step through, and Kamara can drop back and cover, or because you're probably be playing against two banks of five. So for me, having as much dynamicness, is that a word? Dynamism, is that the word? Having as much of that as possible, but still having somebody who can play the defensive position that does. I'm going to have to say it, but I can't wait until after the international break when our man Ryan Jack's back running about the squad, and because there's nobody in our squad better at that role than Ryan Jack.
No, he kind of does it all, doesn't he? Recycles the ball, wins tackles, and drives forward. I totally agree with that. Now, Ross, front three then. Obviously, our man Ryan Kent was back last night. Dane Bits looking very sharp. Are you bringing him in?
Yes.
Who with?
Kent and Hadji sitting in behind that guy from Zambia.
Don't start singing because I've just got it out of my head. So Sakala with Kent and Hadji behind.
But them behind, them no playing as wingers, them behind, moving about, creating space, and your width comes for your fullbacks because they're not going to come and attack us.
No.
Sakala, mate, I agree with Kerr. Morelos, he scored these 100th goal. We thought he was going to kick on, and he's just not offering. The wee man scored a hat-trick last week. The fans have got a wee bit of buzz about him. He's your on-form goal scorer. So you're playing bottom of the league at Ibrox. Why not give him a shot through the middle and see what he can do?
Kerr, are you of the same mind, or have you got a totally different opinion, which I have, and I'll come in a second?
To be honest with you, the front three Ross mentioned, I would actually like to see on Sunday, to be honest with you. But I don't think it'll go that way. I think he'll go back to what he usually does, and I think I don't even know if Ryan Kent will start because he's been out for a while. I like to see him start. You're better starting him and taking him off and bringing him on. I always feel. But I like to see Kent, and like Ross says, but I think I'll go with Kent, either Hadji or Rebo, and depending on what position Rebo starts, and Morelos. I don't think he'll leave Morelos out for some reason.
So I'm the same mind. I think Morelos will play just to try and give him that last chance. No last chance, again, being dramatic again today. I don't know what's up with me. Give him that chance to get a couple of goals against bottom of the league because he should be. You know, I came back to earlier. If you can't do it against Ross County, then you're going to be struggling, aren't you? So I like to, with some hard games coming up after the international break, I'd like him to get a couple of goals and get out his wee huff that he seems to be in right now, and he's sort of wee lull in form. So I suppose I'm kind of being very loyal there and going to give Morelos another nod. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see Sakala lead the line or Kamar Roof, to be honest. We have got decent options there, and I'm not saying they're all in top form, but we have got decent options, and it's great. I think Kent will come in. I think he'll start. I think the fans will want to see him after his cameo on Thursday, and that will just get him the nod. But as you've been touching on already, we should be too good for Ross County, no matter who plays in that 11, and fingers crossed that's the case. Now, to round up the Ross County preview, Ross, what is your prediction for Sunday's game, and who's your first goal scorer and a star man?
3-1. Arfield first goal. Fashion Junior, top man.
Take that all day. Kerr, yourself?
Ross, I think you're reading my books. I wrote down 3-1 and Arfield first goal, so I can't say this. I can't say the same as him. So
that's kind of worrying because I tell every cunt you're clueless, Kerr.
I always pick Arfield when he's playing because I always think he's due a goal. So I'll say Arfield will get a goal at some point. I think it'll be 3-1 or 4-1, and star man, I think, will be Tavernier.
Ooh, I'm going to go 4-0. I think the elusive clean sheet is happening. I think we will get a penalty and Kamar Roof will score the first goal.
Oh.
Rangers don't get penalties, Derek.
Yeah, we'll do one. We've not had one. But Aberdeen, that's been at least 10 days, isn't it? So,
I know. It's been a while.
So, thanks very much for the both of you. Again, we could chat all day, and I really appreciate you joining us today. So, cheers, gentlemen.
Thank you, mate, for having us.
No problem. And thanks everyone listening to the Rangers Rabble Ross County preview. This will be available to our Patreon subscribers shortly. And thanks very much for everyone who has subscribed so far. Take care and have a good weekend. Cheers.